we're going to go ahead and get started until everything kicks in on this end. But again, my name is Angela Lewis, better known as Alove. I am here. Welcome to the I Am Woman Empowered Virtual Empowerment Summit. Yes. So this is the first one. I am super excited. And y'all know, see how things try to start off and throw everything off. But that's okay because we are empowered women, so we know how to bounce back and make that thing happen, right?
Yes.
So, I'm going to go ahead and get started. Again, this is the very first summit, and y'all know how we do as women. We rise to the occasion all the time because we're already equipped for every single thing that we need. So I'm just super excited that I have some amazing women that are going to be on this panel. So you guys know we are here all day long. We're here from 12 noon until midnight. And of course, none other than the wonderful, amazing, super talented, super visionary Miss Eugenia Yvette is kicking it off for us. So, hey, I figured that if we're going to get started, we need to start with our mindset. We need to get that emotional wellness piece together. And Eugenia is a transformation coach. She is out here talking about emotional wellness, helping you get yourself together, helping you deal with those things that have impacted and it affected you in so many ways. And y'all, you know how it is when you're dealing with your past. Sometimes things come back and sometimes it's hard to get over. But all you really need is to take the time to cleanse and get yourself in a position to where you're not looking in the rearview mirror, you're looking forward for every single thing that God has for you. So Eugenia, while I work on this end here, I want you to go ahead and get started, sharing everything with everybody, introduce yourself, what you do, and take it away.
Okay. Well, thank you, Alove, for the opportunity. I'm really honored to be a part of this powerful panel. Before we go any further, I'm going to offer my emotional cleansing prayer just to start off in prayer so we can just set the stage of just emotional wellness. And if you want a copy of the prayer, I can send it to you. I have an audio version of it with music, and it's me speaking it, and then I also have paper copies I can email people if they want to just send a message to Alove or inbox me, and I'll be glad to give you a copy of it.
And they can also put it in the chat. They can put their email address in the chat and we can send it to them through there as well.
Okay. I'm not technical savvy, so you're going to have to help me out with that chat
I got
stuff.
you covered.
All right, thank you. This prayer was given to me. I do emotional cleansing conferences, and God gave me this prayer for my 3rd annual conference. And sometimes we have to create things to give us our peace. So this is the prayer that I offer to my clients, and I try to read it at every conference. And it goes, we're going to pray now. If you just clear your hearts and your minds for a few minutes, just stop and still yourself. I lay every weight and every non-productive thought at the feet of Jesus. I cleanse myself of selflessness, selfishness, resentment, judgment of others, unforgiveness, self-sabotaging behavior, misinterpretation of my life experiences, and holding on to the past. I take time for 10 to reset, regroup, reflect, and restart in order to be productive as I move on to my next phase of my journey. I give all thanks and praise to God, the creator, maintainer, and provider. I soak in self-acceptance, gratitude, appreciation, thanksgiving, and praise. I respect my journey and all that it has taught me this far and all that it will continue to teach me. I am open to learn from every experience and challenge I may encounter, knowing that it is all working for my good. I accept my greatness. I embrace my calling. I accept my gift that God has given me of life and life more abundantly. I walk in that abundance spiritually and my health, through my mental freedom and my finances, and in loving relationships. I am cleansed from the inside out. Therefore, I am free. Amen.
Amen. Amen. Thank you for that amazing emotional cleansing prayer. Okay.
Thank you. Okay, so being women empowered, we have to take our time to not only just stop, but we have to, I believe everyone on here is a believer. Is that correct, Angela? Hey, love?
Yes, I can hear you.
I said everyone on here is pretty much a believer, correct?
As far as I know, yes. I see Kim put her email up. Kim, thank you. We'll make sure you get the prayer from Eugenia and her resources.
I'll be more than happy to share. So as believers, prayer is very essential to our well-being. You know, we have to spend our time for God, of course, and everyone has their own way of doing it. Some people pray early in the morning, some people pray throughout the day, and some people pray at night, some people pray all day long. But that right there is important because sometimes we do things as women empowered and we run so much as wives and mothers, or just as a woman, period, that we have to just stop sometimes and become one with self, come one with God, and say, hey, everything I've encountered and experienced, it happened for a reason. You know, sometimes, you know, we get to that point in our lives where I know me personally, that's where I came with emotional cleansing, because I would beat myself up, like literally get mad at the decisions I made and beat myself up until I realized that everything we go through, bad or good, it has a purpose behind it. You know, so that's where the prayer comes in at. So we have to learn how to embrace the things we've done in life, who we are, you know, be okay with ourselves. And I think what you're doing, Alove, is so important, that you're embodying women all over, from the Hot Wife Society to the Empowering Women. You're always helping us become better as women, because if we don't become better, then our world don't get better. I mean, right. All the stuff going on with the gentleman that killed, that, you know, the uprising, we have to, as women, we have to learn how to deal with our emotions and deal with them healthily. Because emotions are a part of life. We're not going to get away from it. But it's about having healthy emotions. And only we're going to have healthy emotions about spending time with ourselves, knowing who we are, and having things like this where we can actually discuss, discover, and become better.
Good, good. And I love the fact, and let me just kind of go backtrack a little bit, y'all, and I do apologize when my computer shut down. It kind of threw me off from how I want to originally, you know, bring things up. But Eugenia and I have known each other for what, maybe 2 years, going on 3? And so what happened was she was doing her emotional cleansing conference. And my cousin, she's a Reiki master. She was one of the people that was on the platform. So, you know, I'm here in Georgia. I drove to Nashville and had the pleasure of really attending one of the emotional cleansing conferences. And what was so amazing to me is that Eugenia had so many good people on the panel who were able to, you know, assist us with grief counseling, assist us with, you know, dealing with the emotions that hold you back, you know, dealing with things that, you know, are heart issues, or, you know, your ability to speak about, you know, your past and to be your authentic self. So I know that from experience, it was one of the things that, you know, when you hear about it, you think emotional wellness or emotional cleansing, what is that? And to be able to be in that environment for what she created, to allow people to, you know, really start dealing with your issues and then being able to take them and move forward. I love it because it really helped me to get clarity. It helped me to get focused. It helped me to deal with some things that I thought I had dealt with, you know, years ago. My mom passed 20 years ago, and I still did not realize that I was carrying so much baggage. You know, I had kind of, young women know how we do, we compartmentalize things. So it's not something that, you know, I forget about, of course, because I think about it all the time and I miss her. But the hurt and the pain and the frustration and all those things that, you know, I thought, I'm out here living life and doing good and smiling and, you know, having children and, you know, just doing business. I'm thinking I'm good, and not realizing that that was a heavy weight on my shoulder that I never really dealt with. So attending the conference was a great opportunity for me to understand and recognize it, but also to get past it. So share, you know, some more about, you know, what you do and how you are able to create those type of things and what it does for other people as well.
Okay, well, so the importance of this, like you said, dealing with emotions, sometimes we ignore things. And I know we as women, and then as black, sometimes, you know, we have a different variety of colors, but a lot of times we suppress things. You know, I'm not a suppressor. Everybody say, you talk too much. I do. I talk a lot. And one reason why I'm so transparent, I talk a lot, is because I realize that in being verbal, it's very liberating.
Yes.
You know, when you shut yourself in and you get into this whole state of holding things in, it becomes a pattern. And it becomes a toxic pattern. Because I get mad at you, you my girl, Alove, but then you do something to piss me off, then I hold it in. I don't tell you that I'm mad.
Mm-hmm.
And then you like, she acting a little different, but maybe she's having a bad day. Maybe she's on a cycle, but really I'm pissed off at you for something you did that you didn't know you did. Then I tell somebody else, and then I go, I was mad at her too. And then they get mad. I mean, so, you know, we all got this emotional, unhealthy emotions going on, you know, and then it keeps balling up. And then, you know, that's when sometimes people get cancer and other illnesses because they got stuff balled up inside of them. It ain't got nothing to do with they unhealthy. It's just you got unhealthy emotions becoming toxic inside of you over and over and over and over again. So emotional wellness, what I try to teach through that with people and help people become healthy in their emotions, because if you're not healthy in your emotions, then you can get sick.
Yes.
Sometimes people get obese. Everyone's different. Everyone's metabolism is different. Some people are carrying pounds and pounds of unforgiveness on their body.
Right.
They didn't went to TLC. They didn't went to personal trainers, but they got all this toxic waste holding them down, making them really big. And they ain't supposed to be big like that, or really sick, you know. And God wants us to be healthy. He can, and we may have life and have it more abundantly. So what I do with emotional cleansing is I try to help individuals, male and females, young people, old people, all people, recognize that we have a need to heal, recognize that we have a need to deal with ourselves, become one. And if we have time, I want to share an exercise regarding being present with self, because a lot of times we're not present with self. Especially when you get married and have kids, or, you know, you get busy. If you're a businesswoman, you're out here doing your thing, you have your own business, you get so caught up with trying to make that dollar, trying to be a family person, trying to be the perfect mom, the perfect wife, the perfect everything, that you don't stop to be present with self. So you're perfect to everybody but self, and you can't be healthy in any relationship until you're present with self. And sometimes being present with self is ugly, because you got to deal with some stuff that you don't want to deal with. You got to deal with, maybe you're not as nice as you thought you were, or maybe not as cool as you thought, or maybe your attitude is not as pretty as your outlook. Because sometimes we look good, we be bossing, we be banging, we be divas, but on the inside we ugly. And sometimes you got to deal with that, you know. So that's kind of what I do. I hope I answered the question. I get on my tangents. I hope I answered the question. Okay, I lost you. I can't hear you. You're on mute. You're muted. I can't hear what you're saying.
Did that work?
Yeah, you're muted. Okay, what did you say?
No, I was saying that it's so funny because people don't understand how impactful it is when you are dealing with a lot of emotions, when you have a lot of things going on, when you push it back to the side and you don't speak your truth. So for a lot of people, you know, when you say that you get mad at somebody and then you don't address it, you just kind of hold it in or push it to the back, and you still have dealings with this person, but yet and still you don't allow yourself to speak to them about the things that are going on that maybe made you upset, that hurt your feelings, that you know, you feel like you can't forgive. And so with that being said, that puts you in a position to where you really have to start, you know, understanding that I want to be able to deal with this in a manner that is going to let you know what's wrong, but open up the communication pathway between us so that we can move forward.
Right. And that's very important. And that's where emotional cleansing is key, and where we try to teach. And that's why we have different specialists, because as believers, we have to be whole in every area of life. You know, and sometimes we pick and choose. You know, this is not a grocery store experience. We can't pick and choose what we're going to be healthy at. We got to be healthy in everything. Our mind, our spiritual, our physical, our financial, you know, and all that's part of emotional wellness. Because if your money's jacked up, your emotions ain't happy either. You know, when your money ain't right, you in a bad mood. You know, you can't go get your nails done when you want to, get your hair fixed, or get your makeup done. You know, you can't go buy what you want to eat, you know, that steak. You know, you get kind of antsy, you know, you get a little upset. And your emotions start tripping.
Exactly.
So you got to have wholeness in all areas and aspects. And like I said, that whole piece of getting mad and not dealing with it. A lot of us got that bad. And what happens is you have a convulsion exposure. You know, you hold it up, you build it up, you build it up, and then you just blow up. And that blowing up is not healthy. Because, you know, then you can break up friendships that way, you know, because you held it in. And it could be a simple, hey, girl, I didn't like that. You know, you really made me mad. You really pissed me off. I didn't like what you said. And you're like, okay, girl, I didn't really mean it like that. I was having a bad day at the house. And then you was right there. You my girl. I thought you got my back. So I was like, you know, blank, blank, blank. And I thought I was joking, but really, I didn't know I hurt your feelings. You know, and that's some simple communications and being present with how we feel about stuff can stop a lot of bad stuff from happening. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of broken relationships or a lot of unhealthy stuff from happening. So that's part of the process.
Right. So let me ask you this, Eugenia, how did you get into emotional cleansing?
Okay. Well, emotional cleansing for me was, I've been divorced, and I say twice, but people tell me that my second marriage wasn't really a marriage because it was null and void. But anyway, nevertheless, I count it. But after growing up, having situations where I just wanted to really get married, like I was preaching at 13, gave my life to Christ, and then I got married the day after high school graduation, literally. Graduated on the 30th of May, got married on the 31st of May. So, and my whole purpose of getting married was, for one, of course, being a believer, I wanted to have sex, you know, like everybody else, and do it with God's approval. And then I wanted to be with someone that was not abusive, because my mom was in an abusive marriage. So it was like, he can't hit me because I'm going to kill him, you know. But anyway, long story short, I met my ex-husband, the first one. And I realized I hadn't dealt with Eugenia. You know, I just got married because, you know, my family was tripping. My mom was on drugs. You know, I was just like, you know, my life as I knew as a kid had changed tremendously. So I want to get married and have my own family. I'm going to create my own utopia. Okay. I'm going to show people what marriage should look like, what family should look like. I'm that one. I'm going to show everybody how to do it right. And I sure did show them how to do it wrong. But, you know, so after that, I was already in ministry, but he was trying to please me and keep me. So he became from a deacon to a minister to a pastor. I'm like, did God really call you the pastor? And he was like, yeah. I'm like, okay. So we ended up having a church. It was growing pretty quickly. But at that point in that life, I am vocal. I realized I wasn't happy. I was not happy at all with myself. I wasn't happy in the marriage. And I knew it was against I was Pentecostal, it was against what our church believed in, because everybody it was a bunch of unhappy married people in the church, you know what I'm saying? It was a bunch of unhappy people that was not really happy. So anyway, I was like, look, God, I had to go to myself with God. I said, look, 'cause I have a relationship with God. I'm like, I know I might have, you know, make you mad, but I'd rather deal with you and me than to have to stay miserable.
Right.
I can't live in this misery another day. So I tried to go through counseling. It didn't work. Long story short of it, we finally divorced. The church literally put me out. Like they just fellowshipped me from the organization and everything. And I went on a downward spiral. My mom told me I was wrong. I was going to go lose my key. She was a lot fighting against me. So then I began getting in other relationships, trying to fix that relationship, you know, just kept jumping and jumping. So one day I said, several years down the line, 6 kids later, I was in a situation with a person, and they started being unfaithful. And what I got ready to do was I was going to just like, hey, I'm Regina. I'm cute. I got it going on. I got people lined up waiting to holler at me. So you can do that. Two can play this game.
Right.
I got convicted. I went in the living room, got on my face before God, said, look, I can't do this, God. I can't, not anymore. I can't continue to try to fix my hurt with people. So I just cried on my face. I said, I'm not leaving until you deal with me. And I sat on my face for about 3 hours. I don't know how long. It was a long time. I got up. He gave me emotional cleansing. And I'm like, okay. So I went ahead, did my first conference. It was free. 30-some odd people came. You know, free makes everybody come out.
Yes.
But it showed me something. It showed me that I was helping individuals. And they were liking it. And they were like, when is the next event? But I was still in that toxic relationship. So I canceled the event because he didn't like me. He didn't like the happiness that it gave me. You know, I was really happy. I felt fulfilled. He was like, ain't no money in that, because I didn't make money. I gave a lot of money out by making sure it was the best experience for people. I gave out gifts, but lives were changing. And that made me feel like, oh, wow, people need this. And when I discovered people were dealing with molestation issues, they were dealing with hate mama issues, daddy, you know, people were dealing with stuff. I'm like, wow, God gave me something. So Eventually I got back on the track, and that's where I met you 2 years ago at the third annual conference. And that's that people really need something more than just good word, good affirmations, a financial plan. They need to deal with within themselves, and talk about those things. So that's where emotional cleanser came in at. I had to deal with Eugenia and say, look, girl, you was really jacked up. You really messed up. You need to really stop.
You know what? I'm glad you said that, because the thing about it is a lot of people don't realize, like I say, when you're moving through life and things happen, a lot of times you don't have the opportunity, or you push it so far back that you don't deal with the things that break you down,
Right.
and for ladies, understand that in the chat, if you want to put any questions or comment, please do so. But as women, we do a lot, we juggle a lot of hats. You're trying to be somebody's mother, somebody's daughter, somebody's sister, somebody's auntie, somebody's co-worker, somebody's confidant, friend. We deal with so many different things, and it's like we have to shake and move, and we deal with rejection, and we deal with hurt, and we deal with anger, we deal with a lot of things. And it's always like it's very hard for us to express ourselves, because it feels like if somebody has to be the one to not deal with or take the hit, as women, we take it, we absorb it, so we try to make it better for everybody else at the expense of dying on the inside ourselves. And so I think that, with the emotional cleansing piece, it is very necessary. And one of the areas that if you can get it, if you can get emotionally cleansed, if you can get to be so in touch with your emotions that you're not fearful that if I express myself to somebody, they're not going to run and leave me. And I think
Right.
that's what a lot of people think. When you're in relationships and somebody has bad behavior, sometimes you don't want to say anything because you're scared they're going to leave. And I think that at some point in time, we need to be in a position to address what's hurting us,
Right.
and be okay with making sure that we're good, as well as we make other people, or make sure they're good. You know what I'm saying? But we always kind of gut punch ourselves, really,
You know,
uppercut ourselves.
part of that I believe is really historic, because you think about, I'm way old. I mean, I'm way younger than back in the day. Probably none
Hmm.
of us on this call has been back in the day, like the real day, when it was really a time where our ancestors had to suppress things.
Hmm. Hmm.
Women had to be strong. She had lost her husband, had to be the mama and the daddy, because the man had been taken from the home and been sold off to slavery. So that's a generational thing that we have to learn how to let go of. And
Mm.
sometimes we go through it and don't even know that's part of it. That's what the taking time for 10 that we talk about. That's why that's important, because stopping and being present with self, we can deal with some things. Why do I do that?
Hmm.
Why am I always trying to impress everybody? Why am I
Mm.
something you said to me about my book, Checked Out, and I never ever forget it, and I share with other people. And that is, you said, Eugenia, you asked me about me in relationships, we were
Hmm.
talking, and you said, I get it. You just want to be chosen. And after that, I dropped you off or whatever. I went back home and I cried. I said, God, that is how I've been. And then you saw me, so when
Hmm.
we see ourselves, it helps people see us too sometimes, because
Hmm.
I'm working on me. And you, as my sister girl, you're like, hey, I read your book. It was awesome, but you're doing this because this, that, and the other. You're trying to be seen. You want to be chosen. And it's like, God, girl, you got it. And that's true. And that's
Hmm.
from my mom to my dad to relationships. I will
Hmm.
watch, choose me. I'm somebody important. I'm special. Choose
Yes, you
me.
just sometimes you want to jump up and down and say, "Do you see me?" I just
Yeah,
want to be
right.
seen. I just want to be acknowledged. Because you think, and so many women deal with it from daddy issues, and in your
Yeah,
case, like you said, with mother issues. When you're dating somebody and you think, okay, I love him, I think we're going to be together forever, and then he cheats, and then for us, we never think what happened, what's wrong with him. We
right.
think, what's
What
wrong
did
with
I do
us?
wrong?
What did I
Yeah,
do wrong? Exactly. And so I think that for us, because that is where we are in life, it makes you, constantly, when you're dealing with rejections, a piece of you dies in inside, or it shuts down. And
yeah,
then when they wonder why you got so many walls, and I think somebody DN
Okay.
she got divorced and couldn't talk about it for years, which made me very aggressive after. And yes, when you don't deal with your emotions, when you deal with so much hurt and you don't really kind of get an opportunity to get it out, then
Right.
it comes out in other forms. It comes out in aggression and anger. It comes out as, popping off with people all the time, or it comes out
Right.
as, why she act like a, they're gonna call us a bitch
Yeah.
all the time, but why is she the angry black girl, or why is she, the person that, is an ice princess, those type of titles come because we are so emotionally overwhelmed and
Mm-hmm.
we don't deal with it, that it comes off is one thing, and in the inside we just want somebody to
Crying
see us and
out.
love us. We just, it's a cry for help. Yeah, it's no different really than somebody who, wants to maybe, choose suicide or something, and they leave a note or whatever. It's like they're trying to express to somebody, I just want you to love me enough to say that it's okay, that I see you, I know that, you're valuable, you're worthy. But again, until we get it for ourselves, I mean, is it really somebody else's responsibility?
No, it's ours. And and yesterday I was gonna say that too. Forgive me, I'm gonna say this word, not a
Mhm.
good one. But someone you have our women out here saying, I'm a bad bitch, I'm a bad bitch. Excuse me. Sorry if I'm hurting someone's feelings for saying that word, but we start degrading ourselves because again, we're not dealing with healthy emotions. We're putting on titles that are not making us better.
Yeah.
And we're justifying it. A lot of us are angry and mad and bad only because, like you said, we haven't acknowledged it, but because we're not dealing with our emotions. We're not dealing, like she said, she was aggressive from divorce. We're not dealing with stuff that hurt us, that bothered us, because especially if you've been the faithful woman to doing everything, cooking, cleaning, sexing, waking up, doing oral sex before they go to work. You're doing all this stuff, and he's still
Mhm.
treating this like, wait a minute.
Mhm.
This ugly chick ain't doing jack. I'm doing everything. I'm keeping myself up, keeping my appearance up. I'm cooking, I'm cleaning, I'm winning, I'm working, I'm taking care of the kids, and I'm doing it when I don't want to do it. I'm helping you win, and you gonna still cheat on me? And like you said, we make it a personal thing, like, well, dang, I must have did something wrong. No.
Mhm. Absolutely. But
Except
that's what
like,
we tend to do as women, is no matter what happens, we take on the responsibility that is something to do with us.
my fault. Yeah.
Maybe, maybe what's the song, I'm not a superwoman? You remember the song,
Yeah.
oh girl, song back in the day,
Yeah. I'm
that
not the kind of girl that you can let down and think that everything is
yes,
okay.
yes, that the juice, now the juice is sour, but it used to be sweet. Everything was, when you was in love and everything was great, baby. We
Yeah.
was doing our thing, but now that you mad about whatever, now that you've decided that somebody else is floating your boat, now all of a sudden I can't do anything right.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I'm frying up bacon the same way I've been frying up bacon for the last
Right.
10 years, baby. But all of a
Now it's
sudden now
wrong.
you don't like, now you don't eat the kind of
Now
bacon.
it's burnt. Now it's burnt bacon, right?
Yes. Oh, so now the biscuits. So you don't like these anymore. They're not good like they used to be. Whatever
Right.
the case may be, and you use it for whatever situation you're in. But we deal with a lot of things because sometimes we just want to be chosen, and we just want somebody to say that they love us, and that, I see you, exactly, because you missed out on, whether it's from a parent, or whatever, or being rejected because you were dating a guy, and somebody else came along and he said, okay, well, I'd rather be with this person.
Right.
And I mean, in my case, being married, my husband, I thought, when he was telling me at that time, in my first marriage, that we were going to be together forever. We're going to grow old together, girl, and all that, but yet you're
Right.
still cheating. And then you decide that, you decided that you want to be with somebody else. So that's a lot when you're thinking that, but I thought we were going to be together forever. So you
Right.
sold me to that dream. So I definitely understand Deanne, about, being angry, when
Yeah.
you get divorced, because you have expectations and promises that have been broken. Or you think about the little girl who's waiting for your dad and he said he's on his way and he never shows up. You have expectations that have been
Right.
broken. So emotional cleansing helps to, deal with those things, to get you empowered, so that even if these things happen going forward, even if the relationship with your dad or your mom can't be repaired, even if you're dating and somebody, decides that, okay, this is not working for me, and you break up, when you become empowered emotionally, those things can still happen to you, but you can
Right.
still move on. You're not
Rise up.
stuck in that place. You can rise up and still feel joy, still
Right.
feel happiness, still see that, you're worthy and you're valuable and you know that yourself, not needing that validation from anybody else.
And see, that's and that again, that's now that goes into the take time for 10, because sometimes we have to just stop. I mean, I go a lot, I talk a lot. That's just me. But you have to sometimes just get silent, get one with self. Because like you said, you might get let down by the parent, or that happened back in the day when you was 20 years earlier or 30 years earlier, and then you get with a dude that you think y'all gonna be together forever, but then he cheats on you. When you're taking that time to stop and evaluate yourself, it helps you make good, healthy decisions. If you don't take out that time, then you'll just keep riding with it, dealing with that, beating yourself up and say, hey, you know what? I deserve better. I did an affirmation, and I think it's important we all do affirmations. Everyone does things differently, but it's just take sometime today or this week, my homework assignment for everybody. Take some time out and create your own affirmation. I made an affirmation. It was another thing that I did with the emotional cleansing with my conferences I do, because affirming yourself is important. It's good to be validated by people, but we have to first validate ourselves. We have to know that we are enough, that we deserve the best. And once we know that and believe it, sometimes we can say it because it sounds cute, oh girl, y'all believe it, I'm this, I'm that, I'm a boss, I'm a savage, I'm this, I'm that. But we don't really believe it. We just be saying it because it sounds good. Everybody
Yes,
says
it do. And I know a lot of women, y'all know, put in the chat box if that's you, when you know that you talk a good game, but in the inside, when you're all by yourself, you don't feel, your words don't match up with how you do. Affirm yourself. That's right, Evelyn. Affirm yourself. We can all admit that, we've been in situations where, you out here and you with your girls and you want to be like, yes, they turned up, so I'm going to turn up too. But in the inside, you're feeling like,
when y'all get to turn up, you going home, you in your car on your way home crying. Like, I don't want to keep turning up with these girls like I think I want, man. I want a man.
Yes,
Or I want
Jesus, yes.
So affirmation is very important. I know my time is about up, so I'm gonna read this affirmation if that's okay.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we got a little time. Go ahead.
Okay, and I would like for you all this week to check back in with Alove and write your own affirmation. It could be as long as a page, it could be as short as a second, but affirmation is very important. It's also something I can give you audible. I have it audibly with music.
Okay.
And I have it also on sheets that I can email the actual affirmation. And if you have the book checked out, it's also on page 97 of checked out, the affirmation, and the prayers on 95 and 96. And this affirmation is important because when we affirm ourselves, we write things down. I know there's a lot of business women on here, and we do business goals and all that, and we write things down. I don't know, but writing things down, even the word of God in Habakkuk says, write the vision and make it plain.
Absolutely.
And they that read it may run, that read it. So we have to write things down, because I've discovered when you write stuff down, it just happens. Something just happens. It's something about writing it down. It's something about speaking it. Even talking to yourself in the mirror. Girl, you bad. You sexy. You fine. Like people like, guys be like, you look good. I'm like, no, when I look in my mirror and I have on my dress that's tight, and I see the dents in my butt, I don't like that. Now, God may like it, but Eugenia don't like it. So it's like, no. And so I'm doing it for me, not for them. I like to look at me and be like, ooh, girl, you bad. Ooh, you sexy. Ooh, So we have to be able to be happy with us first before we can expect anyone else to be happy. And it's selfish of us to want somebody to make us happy. So we have to learn how to be happy with ourselves. So affirmation.
Exactly. That's good. And as a matter of fact, don't you have something that put together with some affirmations? I think I saw you posted recently. They have several affirmations. Yes, good.
Yes, ma'am. So please, this week, ladies, write down affirmations and put them in our chat or whatever, or just say I did it. Because, and some of y'all may already be doing it, but it's very freeing. And write down what pertains to you, because everybody's different. No one's a cookie cutter. This ain't the Stafford Wives Club, where everybody's the same woman, And thank God for that, because I would want to be like everybody. I like being. Okay, I am fearfully and wonderfully made in God's divine image. So first we got to realize that we're made in God's divine image. The way we're made is good enough. Whether we're a little bit fluffier than others, whether we're a little bit lighter or darker, whatever we are, our hair, look at me right now. I'm telling you, this natural stuff is not working for me. I'm glad. I felt bad. I'm glad my stylist mother, funeral was today. We get over if I can get my hair done next week, I guess. But anyway, so we gotta realize no matter how we're looking, how we're feeling, God made us. He made us the way He wanted us to be made, and he's whatever He makes, He says good and very good. So even though we might have moments of insecurities, because we have them, whether we say so or not, no matter how bad we think we are, we all have insecurities. That's just human nature.
Absolutely.
And you said the most baddest chicks out here got the most insecure. They was like, girl, you look like that. You insecure. Like, wait, give me that body, give me that hair, give me that face. I'll be fine. So we all fight with that. We struggle with that demon of insecurity in some way, shape, form, or fashion. So I am fearfully and wonderfully made in God's divine image. That's important we understand that we're who we are and we're made by God. Okay? I am an original. I am the only one that can do what I have been created to do. So you know what? It's only one Alove. It's only one Yvette. It's only one like Monica. Thank you for being on here. Monica G. Brown. There's only one person on here in the world like us. Only one fingerprint that matches your fingerprint, and that's yours. So we're unique because it's only one of us.
Absolutely.
So we are enough because it's only one of us. So like, you can go to the store and get 5 of the same gallons of purity milk, but can't nobody get another Alove, can't nobody get another Eugenia Yvette, whoever's on here, can't nobody get another one of you but you. So
clap for yourself, ladies, because it is only one you. Clap for yourself. Absolutely. There's only one you. I don't care what anybody say. They can tell you that I can look. What is it? I can get another one. No, they can never get another.
You cannot.
Ever.
You cannot. And the good thing about that is we need to make ourselves perfected. Sometimes, and I don't like weave because I think in my mind, and that was from my childhood, people wear weave because they tried to be like somebody else.
Right.
So purposely, I don't do it because of that. I'm so rebellious. It's ridiculous. But I was like, I ain't wearing that because I ain't trying to be nobody else. I like who I am, but right now I'm not digging it. But I like me. So we have to really become happy with us.
Right.
Know that we're enough. Know that we're original. Know that we are the only ones created to do what we've been created to do. Can't nobody else do it like us. So we might as well embrace it and make the best of it, right? Because we're the only ones that can do it. And if we don't show up, then they're gonna miss. The world's gonna miss a great thing. If we don't show up in our greatness, they're gonna miss something. They're gonna miss an awesome opportunity that we're holding people back from receiving.
Yes.
I am an amazing person, worthy of love, true happiness, and prosperity. So when we're in bad, jacked up situations, whether it be a job or relationship or friendship, we got to say to ourselves, hey, I'm an amazing person. I'm worthy of love, true happiness, and prosperity. And true happiness means I ain't faking the funk, acting like I'm happy when I know good and well I ain't happy. People be, doing all these Facebook Live posts, and they know good and well that ain't where they really at. They be all this, they flossing, as young people say, and they're not really, I think I'm learning how to read this stuff.
I was going to say, Evelyn, she said, so I face the mirror and affirm myself. It's liberating. That's good. That's good. It is. To really be able to speak to yourself and then believe it. Because the thing about it is, as you talk to yourself, you hear yourself. And they say, hearing is what allows you to start receiving. What Lena says, I'm an amazing person and worthy of love and prosperity. Yes, y'all drop them affirmations. Y'all better drop them affirmations in there. Yes, empower, because you know what? As I said, empowered women empower women. So put your affirmations in there so that you can know.
Oh, is that a journal?
Somebody else. Yes. Matter of fact, I'm gonna do a giveaway. Yes.
We don't get one. We
also. Yes, somebody asked about your book too. So before you go, they want to know how to purchase your books as well. She's a multi-best-selling author. She's got, amazing books out there. So you guys make sure she's going to drop it in there. But Vicky says there is only one me. Absolutely. Yes. Empower yourself every day to speak, because no matter what somebody else says, no matter what they think, it's what you believe about yourself. And I refuse to believe that God created me to be anything else but the bomb.com. Period.
Right.
Now, I'm not saying I've always believed that, because I've run around here and people tend to think that, I'm confident or whatever, but I have insecurities just like anybody else, and the more that you deal with people who reject you for whatever, it is, and Miss Wynn says, I am a positive influence. Thanks for joining, ladies. We appreciate you guys dropping it in the comments. You have to empower yourself. You have to get to a place where you recognize your greatness It's already inside of you. It's just waiting for you to recognize it and then go out and shine. Because what I love about Eugenia is that she's always, wanting to help people out. Even when she feels like somebody has, did her dirty, she still will step out and try to be of help, and it gets tiresome. It gets heavy when you feel all the time that you're not appreciated or you're not loved like you feel like you deserve. But when you recognize it, that's when you start becoming more empowered. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Keep going though, is that taking time for 10. That really works. I mean, I do sometimes more than 10 minutes, but taking out time and just deplugging, deactivating from life situations, and then evaluating yourself, not only affirming, but evaluating. Because sometimes we need to redo some things in us. I'm going through a thing this past week. I've been revisiting Eugenia. And some things that I don't really like about me that I need to get better. And my next book, that's my 5th bestseller that's going to come out, is called I Am the Real MVP.
Oh, go ahead on, girl. Look, y'all type that in there. I am the real MVP.
And it's dealing with just being okay with you.
That's good. That's powerful.
And then the subtitle is Your Opinion Doesn't Matter. To me. There's a little rhyming up in there, but because a lot of times we try to impress people, try to prove people, and I was guilty of always trying to prove. I gotta prove that I gotta prove that I can do that. I can do this. I am. It's like, do you really believe that? Because if you are, you ain't gotta prove nothing to nobody. It don't matter. Thank you, Evelyn.
Yeah, but you get exhausted in the process trying to prove to everybody that I belong, that I'm supposed to be here. That's tiresome, baby, when you can always just automatically know that you don't owe anybody anything but to just be you, period.
Exactly.
And be okay if they can't accept it. Understand that it's okay, because not everybody, baby, if everybody didn't love Jesus, then guess what?
Yes.
Chances are somebody's not going to love you too. And it's okay.
It is okay. And really, you don't want them to love you, respect love. I don't want your fakeness. Thank you. Keep it over there. Thank you. Do me a favor and you a favor. Stay on over there. So
absolutely.
That's this next book, because I've had to do some things with myself. Like, okay, Eugenia, you get frustrated because people will judge you. People judge, but it's like, let them judge. They don't really know who you really are. You don't owe them nothing, and you ain't got to explain to them that you got married young. You got, they ain't none of that this. Who cares?
True. And why do we do that? I mean, as women, we're so quick to offer up explanations of your circumstances. And I think, and Jill put amen, but sometimes as much as you try to prove yourself, sometimes you're still not valued. And I feel like, we spend a lot of time trying to make somebody believe in us, and realizing, I don't think we realize that nobody's perfect, baby. Everybody that you think, sometimes you will hear something, you be like, oh, you did that? Oh, I didn't know. Oh, girl, everybody out here doing the same thing. People are out here, and I think social media plays a lot into thinking, having people think that they have the best relationship, or, oh, girl, they out here, they living their best life and they're making all kinds of money. Maybe we all in some form of struggle. And when you realize that, it levels out the playing field. I'm not saying that it's some people out here who, yes, are millionaires, but they may be weak, or not necessarily weak, but lesser in health. Maybe have bad relationships, may have some other things, can't get along with their kids. It's some people who may not have but a pot to piss in, but baby, they get all the love in the world. They have a husband who treats them like a queen, children who adore them. It's people out here who they're successful in business, and it's other people who maybe can't do good in business. If somebody gave them a blueprint and the upfront capital, they still can do it. That's just not for them. But you have to stay in your lane and appreciate where you are, and understand that you don't owe any explanation to anybody about what you're doing with your life. And when you stop people pleasing, because I know for me, and y'all can tell me in the chat room if I'm by myself, but I was a people pleaser for years. I grew up as a preacher's kid. So I was out here people pleasing and everything. There go my sister. Hey, Francesca. Y'all know Francesca's up next, baby. She's an honor student, baby. She get in there.
Bomb.com.
Yes, she is. Yes, she is.
She's a bad chick. She's a savage.
Yes. She's trying to connect the audio, so I know she getting ready to start laughing at us. But Eugenia, I do want you to, speak to the fact that, even with
Oh, you froze up on me, love. Hello? Angela? Okay, while she gets unfrozen with her question, I'm gonna finish up the affirmation. You back?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now, yes.
Okay, cool. Okay. So I was saying that a lot of times when we start talking about taking time for 10,
Yes.
and it's easy to say, but a lot of times it's hard for people to just start doing it and start being consistent.
Right.
What can you tell people? Because we want people to leave not just with hearing information, but to know how to implement it. So how can people really put that into, like, what do they need to do to start making sure they take time for themselves? And in your case, take time for 10. What can we do to make sure that we start getting empowered in this area to start taking care of ourselves?
Okay. Well, first thing is, and you want to eventually go to more than 10 minutes, but 10 minutes is simple. You can't, my thing with 10 minutes is people can't find an excuse. Well, I ain't got 10 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Every job, if you work in the corporate world, you have at least a 10 to 15 minute break.
Mm-hmm.
So if you can't do it at home, take that 10-minute break and become selfish. Go somewhere away from everybody. Don't call home. Don't call your husband. Don't call the kids. Go sit in the car. Go for a walk around the building and take that 10 minutes and deplug from everybody, everything. Now, I have a thing called the eye mask, right? Because sometimes people can't find a dark spot. You know, some people can't sleep in the daytime. So the eye mask that's created, it has emotional wellness on here, and I have different colors. And I can give one away as a giveaway, don't matter. If you want to, get with me, Angela, I can. But okay. I created this because sometimes people have a hard time with just getting blank. I can sleep in the storm, but some people they have a hard time with that. So this right here is helpful to take that 10 minutes. So you need to take 10 minutes and just become one with yourself. And you can't, it's daylight outside, it's bright, the light's on, you can't get darkness. Put this on. And then I have I had guided meditation. I have a step 1 guided meditation and step 2 guided meditation. And it goes through the process of it, what's important. It's a 10-minute thing where it's music, but first I go through the process of why you have to stop and breathe, why you have to stop and think, because breathing is very, very fundamental and it's very important. And we don't breathe a lot, right? And even breathing is good with losing weight. Breathing is good with singing. Breathing is good with eating. Breathing is so many fun facts to breathing that we don't even know because we take breathing for granted.
I was getting ready to say, babe, we underestimate the fact until you can't. Then you really start realizing, you know what I'm saying? COVID-19 has really brought it home that breathing is not to be taken for granted, because it's, once that happens, it attacks the lungs. So, and that's one of the things, that you guys did at your emotional wellness event, was to show you how to properly breathe, show you how to use breathing to help to get you calm, to get you focused, to get you centered. And so I love that because, before then, girl, I'm just out here, sucking up air, not even really realizing and understanding that, my daughters laugh because, I can get wired up before events and things, and they're just like, just breathe, mama. And I'm like, you're right. Let me just calm down.
Yeah. But with that breathing properly can get rid of anxiety. So you may have a precious moment. You just stop and you start breathing. Taking that time. That can just send you down. Like if you're a believer, then while you're breathing, begin to say, okay, God, give me direction. What do I need to do next? Okay, I don't like this. Okay, I don't like the way I'm feeling. I feel anxious. Help me, God. Help me get it together. And others just breathe. Some people, they'll be talking to the Father while doing it. Others just like, okay, I'm finna breathe. I'm not finna blow up on her. I'm not finna punch her in the face. I'm finna breathe right now. Just right. It's practical things. So taking time for 10, just taking those, just giving yourself, you owe yourself 10 minutes.
That's good.
Just like I'm glad Francesca's getting ready to start up because, we have to pay ourselves, and that's part of what the emotional cleanse we did with the finance and everything, is you have to start doing stuff for you, and if you don't do stuff for you, we're going to do it. And if we start doing stuff for us more often, I kept telling people all the time, I'm a selfish single mom. Like, I'm selfish. Your girl would get somewhere and go ghost on everybody. I will go ghost. Like, I'd be like, I'll have older kids, like, hey, I need you to come to the house. I'm going to pay you to watch your siblings. I'm going somewhere. I go get a hotel. I go on the road and drive, because I know in order to stay healthy as a mom, I have to take time for myself.
That's
I gotta
so true.
date myself. You know, with the book, I'm the real MVP. Learning how to take yourself out to dinner, not just to Wendy's, but go to a nice. I don't do steak, but go to Ruth Chris or somewhere like you like PF Chang. I like going to PF Chang. I like the atmosphere, the ambiance. Go there, dress up really nice, like you're gonna meet Mr. Right up in there. You know, but go and just even if you're married, go somewhere nice, have a seat, take your journal with you, your iPad woman. Show that journal again, Angela. Show that journal.
Look,
Take that Empower Women's, you know, that journal with you. Take a pen with you, you know, and go and write down stuff. You know, when Francesca's come on with this financial piece, write down your stuff. Do your homework from that. You know, do your affirmation. And you'll feel good. Look, I've been before. I went to Red Lobster, and the guy was like, "You need someone to sit with you?" I said, "No." What? You know, do I look like I need somebody to sit with me? Because, and I wasn't all mad. I was looking cute. I was feeling good. I had my feet up on the chair, you know, but on the booth, because I wanted a booth. I had a feet on the booth. And I was just enjoying my time. And that's how I stay grounded and rooted. And that's how I stay centered. You know, I know people think that know me, they go, oh, she need a man, no, I like my single time. You know, I do like it because it's really empowering. Go horseback riding, do something that makes you happy, that you can become one with nature, go hiking or whatever, you know, go to dinner. But anyway, back to taking time for 10, just learning how to be selfish. Just give yourself 10 minutes. And you shouldn't feel bad. You have 24 hours in a day. 10 minutes ain't gonna hurt nothing or nobody.
That's good. And you should be in a position where you know that you're worth 10 minutes
10
on the
minutes.
minimum. You know what I'm saying? I mean, there's so many of us that feels like it's wrong to take time out for yourself. And it's not. It's not being selfish. To be honest with you, you need to take time out for yourself in order to be able to be better for the people who are around you. Because sometimes you wonder why these people crack up, or, you know, they do heinous crimes or something, because they're wound so tight that it's just one thing that happens that just they snap and they do crazy things, and then they have to pay for it for the rest of their lives, or lose their life, or somebody else loses their life because they could not deal with, you know, the emotions, things that were going on with them. So definitely, you know, I highly recommend, you know, self-care, self-love, investing in yourself, investing 10 minutes, definitely more as you build up, but get accustomed to spending time with yourself and being okay with that. Because a lot of women, I don't know about you guys, but it's women that just don't like to be alone. And you've got to learn how to be okay with yourself. Because if you don't enjoy your company, who else is?
That's true. And the 10 minutes is something simple, because, you know, you can't give everybody the whole enchilada the first time around. You gotta build up to that. So if you learn how to give yourself 10 minutes a day, some people have to do 2 minutes a week, you know what I'm saying? Because they're so used to being everything to everybody that they don't take out that time.
Right.
You know, even if things, you know, you have a husband and kids, you make sure they have their dinner ready and just say, hey, babe, I'm gonna go for a ride. I'm gonna run to the store. You ain't got no, you can go to the park and sit in the parking lot. You know?
Right, exactly.
But, you know, because he might be like, what you going to the park for? You know, what's wrong? You know, and so you may have to just be like, I'm going to the store, and then go to the store so you won't be lying. Go to my store for real so you won't be lying, but go sit in the park, you know, just, you know, or whatever. Just learning how to just take that time for yourself. And it's not selfish, it's self-care. You have to take care of yourself. But the 10 minutes can grow to other kind of minutes. 10 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, an hour, a whole day, you know, a spa day. You know, I deserve to get my feet done. I got my feet done yesterday. I probably shouldn't have, but my feet were looking horrible for 3 months. I had to go. I couldn't get my hair done, so I got my feet done, and I felt so much better.
And it makes you feel better, girl. And that's what it's all about, is making you feel better about yourself. And sometimes it's small things, you know. I mean, everybody has a thing that makes it good for them. But at the end of the day, investing in your emotional well-being is like number one. And it's one of the reasons why I wanted Eugenia to kick us off today, because if your mindset and your emotional wellness is not in place, you can't go out and do anything else effectively. You can't have effective relationships. You can't have effective businesses. You can't have, you know, effective weight loss because you're up and down all the time. You know, the things, you can't have effective health. all those things, your money, all those things are tied into your emotional well-being.
That's
So if you
right.
don't feel worthy to be a millionaire, you're never going to be one. I don't care how many times you claim that I'm a millionaire. If you don't feel emotionally worthy of that, then of being in a relationship, you're not going to have a good relationship. So the things that we want to get you empowered with now is to understand, get emotionally well, cleanse
Yes.
yourself of all of that old stuff. And you think, just like you go and clean up on Saturday mornings, how we put our music on to put the
Yes.
past all and the bleach out and calm it and all that and get fresh and clean, and it makes the house feel good and you feel good. Or you driving in your car and you clean it up and you're like, oh, my mom used to say, well, a clean car rides so much better.
It does. It does.
Clean, emotionally cleaning yourself, cleansing yourself is the same thing, because you feel so much better. You can think clearer. It's like the cobwebs in your brain, you remove them and stop dealing with old toxic foolishness, and then
Yes.
it positions you to really be clear on where you want to go, what you're trying to do, what you want to accomplish, knowing that bigger is in store for you. And that's all we want to do here, is empower you to know that bigger is in store.
Yes.
Keep moving forward to that. So Evelyn, thank you for waking me up. Thank you. Good word. Going on through a tough divorce where soul ties were created, walking away with my hands up. I'm going through an emotional healing and learning to love myself again and know my
Praise
worth. Yes.
you.
Yes, thank you,
Yes.
Lena. We definitely appreciate it. So I know
Thank
we're
you.
winding down on time. Eugenia, if you will, let everybody know how they can get in contact with you to get your merchandise. Eugenia has the mask. She has the meditations. She didn't mention she has a fabulous candle line that helps with being therapeutic and everything. So everything she does is designed to make you and help you to get yourself centered and grounded and ready to receive. Oh,
Right.
yes, beautiful.
This is the emotional healing. That's my signature candle for emotional wellness. And then I have a grown and sexy line coming out, red wine. But yeah. So as I close, the whole thing with affirmating and all that, not just that, like I said, the whole finance, health, all that. When we're well on the inside, in here and in here, everything else kind of flows. You can reach me at eugeniayvette.com. That's EugeniaYvette.com. Now, I'm not savvy, like I said, this computer stuff, so I don't know how to send that message out.
I was getting ready to say, just to everybody, Chantel had inquired. So what's going to happen is, for everybody who registered via Zoom, at the end of the conference, I will send out an email with everybody that's on the platform's information. So that way, whatever they're telling you about with their products, their services, offers, anything like that, they said EY is one bad woman. Yes, she is. So we'll put that information in there so you'll have access to it. If you did not register, we were trying to do live, and of course the computer shut down. So I will also, in the I Am Woman Empowered group, I will have that information in there as well. So you have both areas to get the resources and access to it. Like I said, Eugenia has some phenomenal products that will help you. Again, she is a bad woman. So I do definitely thank you for taking the time out to bless us with that. Because, if you don't start with emotional cleansing, everything else you do, not to say that you won't do good, but it's always going to be something that will keep you from being, it's kind of like bad gas. You know how they say, you drive your car and you keep hearing it clanking or something. You might be moving forward, but it's still not at optimum speed and level. And so that's where we're trying to do, is help you to get optimally ready to get every single thing God has for you. Don't miss out on anything, because I believe that all of us are great. And if it just is one woman that can get empowered, pass it on, pass it forward, get that next lady, grab her by the hand, because we want us all to be, happy and well balanced and living life to the fullest.
And so I'm excited. I thank you for the opportunity. I thank everyone that I saw some comments. Thank everyone for being a part of this, listening, and letting me share with you. If you have any other questions, if those are going through divorce, I'll be glad to give you a session, just because we have to go through this together. So just inbox me. We can work through it and give you some techniques as you go through the process. So let me know. And then I hate that I'm gonna have to go to this funeral and show respect. So I'm gonna be on here and I'm gonna be off and on. Like I'm gonna be on while I'm driving. I'm gonna be, I'm gonna participate. 'Cause I don't believe in going and being a part of something, just being a part of it. I want to be a part of everybody's. I know everyone got something to give me too. I'm ready
Yes.
to
We all
see.
ready to get empowered, baby. So absolutely. Thank you so much, Eugenia. Again, I appreciate you taking time out. I know you had a lot going on today and for kicking everything off. Wonderful setting the foundation, for
Praise.
everybody to come forward because of course, like I said, there's 10 ladies. So for those of you who are with us, I hope that you can stay. Definitely we have another person, you saw Francesca pop in a moment ago. So
Yes, she's awesome.
next, Francesca, if you can come on to the scene, we will go ahead and get started with your session. But Eugenia, have a phenomenal, blessed day. Thank you so much, Queen, for giving us your time and being here. You look amazing. So, Eugenia